So, dear student, welcome to all of you. I will teach you physical chemistry of your class, that is of your SEM 5. Okay, so let us try to do the introduction of the syllabus of our university. So, as per your syllabus, you have 4 units, and these 4 units are divided into mainly two aspects, mainly two concepts. First 3 units is from electrochemistry, and the last unit, that is the 4th unit, is from the quantum mechanics. Okay, let us see here the unit number 1, that is the electrochemistry part 1, where you will learn electrical transports, different kinds of the conductance in the metals. I do not go into the detail of that because we have to see the lot of things here. I will explain the entire unit one by one. In part B of the same unit, you will study the mobility of the ion, Kohlrausch, its applications, and all these things. Okay. Unit number 2 is also from the electrochemistry, but you can call it as the electrochemistry part 2, where you will learn the different kinds of the cells, reversible cell, irreversible cells, EMF measurements, their applications, calculations and determinations of the different thermodynamic quantities, Faraday process, non-Faraday processes. And in part B, you will learn here the migrations of the ions, experimental related with the migrations of ions, Hittorf's methods and the related things. Unit number 3, though it has not mentioned here the electrochemistry part 3, but it is from the electrochemistry part 3. Here you will learn the types of the reversible electrode, gas electrodes, metal electrodes, salt, ions, redox electrodes, different cell reaction, Nernst equations, their applications, concentration cell with transference, concentration cell without transference, liquid junction potential, and their applications. And the last unit is, that is the quantum mechanics. Here this quantum mechanics is divided into the two parts. The first part is the failure of the classical mechanics, and second part is the introduction to the wave functions. So in this way, your entire syllabus is divided into 4 parts, that is into the 4 units. First 3 units are from the electrochemistry, that is just like electrochemistry part 1, electrochemistry part 2, electrochemistry part 3, and the last unit is from the quantum mechanics. So at the beginning, I would like to introduce you the most important aspects, which is not only in the field of chemistry but also in the field of physics, and that is what the quantum mechanics. So though it is unit number 4, but we will first begin with the unit number 4, that is the quantum mechanics. Okay, so hope that you got this syllabus once again. Just I will revise once again. This is your unit number 1. So unit number 1 electrochemistry, unit number 2 electrochemistry part 2, unit number 3 electrochemistry part 3, and unit number 4, that is the quantum mechanics. Okay, so I will begin with the most important aspect from chemistry and physics, that is the quantum mechanics. Okay, so see here. So remember that the quantum mechanics, this is your unit number 4. Okay, so while studying the quantum mechanics, we must know the things. In the beginning of the 19th century, one mechanics was developed, and that mechanics was based on the Newton's law of motions. Also it based on the Maxwell's equation, that is the electromagnetic theory. So the laws were developed by the Newtons and the Maxwells on the basis of their own theories. So these laws are incorporated in mechanics, and that is called as the classical mechanics. Now this classical mechanics that explain the phenomenon of macroscopic particles. So what is macroscopic particles? Let me tell you, this is macroscopic particles. The particles which can be easily seen by our naked eyes, such particles are known as the macroscopic particles. Just like you can take the example of the cricket ball, or you can take the example of the football. So cricket ball, football, or any stone, or any breeze, or you can call it as a pencil, your pen. These are the particles which can be easily seen by our naked eye. So such a particles are called as a macroscopic particle. For such a particles, one can determine the entire properties of a macroscopic particle as per the classical mechanics. So which different properties are there? Let us see here. If you throw the cricket ball from one place to the another place, so if you throw the cricket ball from one place to the another place, you will find that you can observe the position of the cricket ball at particular instant, as well as momentum of the cricket ball at the same instant. Meaning thereby, for a macroscopic particle, for a bigger particles, we can able to determine position as well as momentum of these particles simultaneously with precisely. And that's why, if you know, you might have been watched the cricket match on television. So there will be the strip at the bottom of the screen. You will find there the velocity of the cricket ball is written, as well as the position is also shown by the highly precise camera, high resolution camera. That means we can able to see the position as well as momentum. So position and the momentum of a bigger particle can be simultaneously determined by using the concept of the classical mechanics. So this is what about the macroscopic particle. Now let us think, if you have a microscopic particles, so you should not be confused between these two words. One is macroscopic particles, that is the bigger particles, and another is the microscopic particle. So a particle which cannot be seen by our naked eyes, that is known as the microscopic particles. So if you see microscopic particles like electrons, okay, so what will happen? So if the electron is moving somewhere, or if the electron is moving around the nucleus, let us see. So you cannot determine precisely and accurately position and momentum simultaneously. If you are able to measure the velocity, you will be uncertain about the position. If you are certain about the position, you will be uncertain about the velocity. So this is the difference between the macro and microscopic particles. For macroscopic particles, bigger particles, we can able to determine the position as well as the momentum. But whereas for microscopic particle, it is not possible to determine the position as well as momentum of such a particle, and hence the quantum mechanics successfully explain the properties of the microscopic particle, whereas classical mechanics successfully explain the properties of the bigger particle, that is macroscopic particle. So these classical mechanics is applicable to the macroscopic particle, whereas quantum mechanics, which was put forward by the Max Planck, is applicable to the microscopic particles for determination of its different phenomena. Okay, so this is what the difference. Classical mechanics applicable to the bigger particle called as the macroscopic particle, whereas quantum mechanics is applicable to the very small particle that cannot be seen by our naked eyes. Such a particle are known as the microscopic particles like electrons, photons, and all these things. So here when you apply the classical mechanics to the microscopic particles, small particles, so classical mechanics get failed. But quantum mechanics successfully explain the different phenomena of the microscopic particles. So we will see in detail later on. Now, this quantum mechanics, what is exactly the quantum mechanics? It is the collection of the postulates based on the huge number of the experimental observations. Classical mechanics propose that energy absorbed or emitted in a continuous manner. See the difference between the absorption and emission of the energy with respect to classical concept and quantum concept, quantum mechanics. What classical mechanics predict? Classical mechanics predict that the energy absorbed or emitted in a continuous manner. But quantum mechanics said that no, energy absorbed are emitted not in a continuous manner, but it is in the form of the pockets and these pockets is known as quanta. So concept of the quanta or the photon was proposed by the quantum mechanics. See the difference here. Energy, what classical mechanics said, the energy continuously emits and it is continuously absorbed by the body. But quantum mechanics said, no, energy cannot be continuously emitted or absorbed, but the energy absorbed or emitted in the form of pockets. These pockets of the energy, which is known as quanta. Okay, so you can see this is a very nice picture. See here, there is no continuous way. So this is one step, here another step, here another step, this is another step, and so on like this. So here stepwise emission, not a, just like this one, this one, this one, this one, this. No continuous emission. This is the stepwise emission. So energy is emitted this way in the form of the pockets or the quanta. Okay. So here this basic of the quantum mechanics, which was put forward by the great scientist Max Planck. Okay, I hope you understood this difference. Okay. Now see here, classical mechanics, which as I told you earlierly, the classical mechanics which is failed to explain the following phenomena. Number one, black body radiations. Number two, photoelectric effects. Number three, heat capacity of solids. And number four, atomic spectra of hydrogen atom. I repeat once again. Classical mechanics fails to explain the four different phenomena. Number one, that is black body radiations. Number two, photoelectric effects. Number three, heat capacity of solids. And number four, atomic spectra of hydrogen atom. So here you will learn that is how classical mechanics fails to explain the black body radiations and how quantum mechanics successfully explain the black body radiation. So let us see. Now see what is black body. Any body, any material coated with the lamp black, that is known as the black body, because no body is perfectly black, but still for experimental purposes we can consider a lamp black, which is serve good to consider the black body. Here just you look this figure. Here you will find this is the hollow sphere, and inside the hollow sphere a lamp black is coated. See here, look it very carefully. So here what? A lamp black is coated, so that makes the body black, so it is black body. Okay, and here to this hollow sphere a small aperture is there. So through these small apertures a light is incident inside this hollow sphere, and due to the number of reflections this way, see here the light is incident. Okay, so light is incident, and due to the number of reflections this way, look toward this my cursor. Okay, so due to this number of reflection the entire radiations get absorbed inside the cavity. That means black body is a good absorber as well as a good emitter. So because of here all the radiations which is coming from this aperture get absorbed here, the cavity inside, that is the body, inside body is get heated. So see here, this very important concept. So because of the absorption of the radiations, due to the absorption of the incident radiations, entire body get heated, meaning thereby there must be a mathematical relations between the incident radiation, that means wavelength, with the temperature. So this most important thing, we will discuss this in later on.